we have an Apple MacBook. I don't know what's wrong with it, because it doesn't say. But it does say that the customer wants to see this on a video. So, we're going to make a video on this. So, I'm live streaming it. So, if you are watching back at the video, I'm not talking to myself. I'm responding to chat. But let's just have a look at what the deal is with this. So, yeah, this was requested for a video. They said it'd be cool if they saw it on YouTube. So, we will see what the deal is with it and hopefully fix it. We get 20 volts, so that means that the charging IC is very likely working, but we get no green light on the charger, which means PP Bus G3 Hot is very likely missing on this. Let's try flipping it round. Nope, absolutely nada. I haven't used this charger in quite a while, so I'm going to use the customer's included charger and see if we get a green light with that. It's been a long time since I used this charger. But we do get 5 milliamps of current, and that's constant as well. It's a continuous current, so that tells me there's probably going to be a short on the board. Current is never going to be static, ever. You can see the voltage isn't static, that's bouncing up and down, but current is more important. Current's never going to be static, it's always going to be bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down, and it adjusts as it needs it. So the fact that that's a solid, oh okay, that did actually flick up to 6 milliamps for a second, but for the most part it's sat on 5 milliamps. That tells me that it's probably shorted. I've just plugged in the customer's charger, so let's just check on theirs. And nope, we get no green light on the customer's charger either. So you see how there's no current draw on mine now? Because it's unplugged. Straight up to 5 milliamps and it just sits there. But with no green light and no orange light on the charger.
You probably don't give a damn about what I've got to say, but just hear me out for a minute, alright? We all know that those sweaty little douchebags with cheesy fingers, living in the mom's basement, drinking Red Bull and simping over TikTok losers are gonna break the console. And you and I both know that you're too cheap to buy off eBay, you're too impatient to wait for AliExpress, and you're just about smart enough to avoid Amazon completely. You can admit it, because I'm exactly the same. That's why I started my online store, consolefix.shop. I'll sell every part you'll need to fix the Xbox One, Series S, Series X, PS4, PS5 and Nintendo Switch consoles. So why not give me the money instead of some random dude on eBay? At least if I have it, you know it's not going to waste on some stupid thing like promoted eBay listings or food for the kids or something. If you give me your money instead, I'll promise I'll use it on useful things, like buying views on TikTok. So before you decide to go to one of the more popular sites and line the pockets of some fat cat loser, take a look at my online store. Check out the link in the video description or the top pinned comment and get 10% off any order over £25 during checkout. Alright, now you can go back to watching this douchebag on YouTube trying to fix something.
First thing I'm going to do then is unplug everything apart from the charging board and just see what the deal is with just the board and nothing else. So I want to see what the board's doing, not what the battery's doing. And sometimes unplugging the ribbons and things like that can allow the board to turn on. You know, if we've got a short on the keyboard or we've got a short on the LCD or something like that, then, you know, short on the trackpad, whatever, then unplugging the ribbon cables will allow it to turn on. I'm going to remove the Wi-Fi. I actually fixed one of these yesterday, but it wasn't a board repair, it was just software related, so it didn't make a video. I don't really do videos on software, it's brain dead stuff. Let's remove the SSD, and one rule I always live by: if you take the SSD out, put it in the SD packet. Even if you just buy one ESD packet, just to keep in the small PCBs. There you go. Yeah. So if I take the SSD out as a general rule, I do tend to try and put it into an ESD packet. Right, that's all removed. Let's just see if we get any change. Right, we still get 5 milliamps, no green light. So yeah, chances are we've probably got an issue with PP Bus G3 Hot. I'm going to fire up a schematic, so bear with me. Just looking for the board number 00165. Right, so I'm going to load up an 820-00165 board view using Paul Daniels' software. So we want a PP Bus G3 Hot. So where on the top of the board, without taking it out, can we test PP Bus G3 Hot? F7140. So F7140, PP Bus G3 Hot. So DC voltage, black probe on ground, nothing on either side of the fuse. Okay, nothing at all on either side of the fuse. So we do have a missing PP Bus G3 Hot rail. So the question is that rail short to ground? So continuity, formerly known as beep 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 mode. No, it is not short to ground. We have an open line. So we don't have a short to ground on PP Bus G3 Hot. Is my fuse good? Actually, there's a point. Yes, the fuse is fine. Let's just have a quick hunt around, see if there's any obvious signs of damage. I'm not sure if this is sent in for liquid damage or not. We've had some prior repair attempts on this before. Probably not on this particular issue, but let's just hunt around on this side of the board, see if we can find anything. Nope, no signs on this side. One thing we could use is repair.wiki. Stop logging me out. Repair.wiki is run by the Repair Preservation Group, aka Lewis Rossman. It's really good for when you don't really know what you're doing. I haven't posted any for a long time. I've neglected it for quite some time, but I have posted stuff on the stuff that I know about, like PS5s and stuff like that. So I've posted some pretty comprehensive guides on things like the PS5 and stuff like that. Of course, shitting my own YouTube channel and stuff like that. But yeah, I do contribute to this myself, but it's really handy if you don't really know much about specific devices, and there's quite a few different things on there. So if you look on laptops and then Macbook, no, we don't want that, do we? Go away. Apple, no. Okay. 820-00165. Macbook Air, look. And then we look for A1466. And then if we look here, there's a load of different problems and solutions. So it's kind of similar to what I'm doing here with my PS5 cheat sheet, but just in a much better format. So if we look here, we've got no green and orange light on the charger, and it gives us a load of different issues and solutions. With 6 milliamps of current draw, corrosion around the SMC or D7012. So, alright, we're not meant to get 12 volts on PP Bus G3 Hot. We're meant to get 8.55. There we go. Such is life. So if we look here for D7012, That is on... Oh, it's on this side of the board. Okay. So, let's find that. It's not far from where I was looking. There is actually a little bit of corrosion around here. Duly noted. But for now, we're not going to look at that. We are going to look at... where are we? We're going to look here. Let me just flip this board around so I'm in the right orientation because, well, Paul Daniels made that software. He's Australian and everything is upside down in Australia. So we'll have to flip the board around. And we are looking just there. It doesn't look great, does it? Okay, so that could just be dust, but we do have a sign of liquid damage there on that cap. What is that cap there? Let's have a look. That's PP3V42_G3 hot. Okay, so let's have a look. Are we short to ground on 3V42? We're not short to ground, but there is a little bit of liquid damage. And okay, we're still plugged in here. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not. Okay, fine. Sorry, I just realised that this charge is activated at all times. Oh. I think we are short on 3V42. Yeah, that was just a contact issue. Okay, we do have a 3V42 short. The board's going to have to come out because we've got corrosion. So, I'll get that taken out. Let's have a little nose and see what we're dealing with. So let's just visually inspect the other side. One of the common areas for liquid damage is around this TPS 51916. And yeah, there's a little bit of liquid damage there, but that's power management for the RAM. There's a few little bits of green gunk there, but nothing major. I was looking for anything that's going to point me in the right direction as to what could be causing the short. I don't really want to be injecting voltage if I don't have to. I have a feeling it might be that cap itself which is short though, if I'm being completely honest. That could probably do with a reflow. There's a bit of corrosion around there. Let's just clean this up. I've got a feeling that the issue is probably going to be the caps. But either way, these boards have to come out when you see corrosion, because you always get a little bit of corrosion around the other side. Yeah, well, that is most definitely bamboozled, isn't it? So that that cap was short. Whether or not that was the cause, well, it was showing up as short on that cap. So when you're just scraping with the tweezers and a cap falls off, the chances are it's going to be your cause, like the cause of your issue. But we will see. Now, that was basically Gonski, those end caps, but whether that was causing the actual short is a different question. I know there's a dot on the microscope lens, yeah. It's been there since, you know that dot's been there for the past like 6 months, right? You are aware of that, aren't you guys? Because there's a few that's actually mentioned that today, but that dot's been there for 6 months. Genuinely. Right. Is that short gone? Yes. It is indeed. Yeah, we no longer have a 3V42 short. It was that cap that was gone. So that is part of the same line. And there's no short there. So one of the good things about the Flex Board View software, and this is the paid version, but you can get a free version. But the one good thing about Flex Board View is we can do this, look. See this cap? C7099 PDF? Bam. And that'll take me right to the schematic where that is. 10 microfarad, that cap. 10 microfarad. So I could hunt around for a donor board, or I could just find a 10 microfarad 10 volt cap from an Xbox board on schematic. So that's what I'm going to do. It's not going to stop it from working, but I'd rather put it back if I can. I'm not sure if it works on Mac. I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure he's developed it for Mac as well. I can post a link to it. How much does it cost? I don't know, because Paul Daniel gave me mine for free. Because I'm YouTube border and all of that good stuff, so I'm not sure. Let me DM Paul and ask him to jump in chat. I've just DM'd him on Discord, see what he says. See if he can jump into chat. It's $147, by the way. Email support for 12 months, an upgrade for the current version series. Okay, so for V5X. So that's for all V5 versions. $147, but honestly, it just saves so much fucking time. It really does. Like the fact that it loads, if you've got the PDF in the same folder, like for example, if I go into my schematics folder here, and the 820000165, you'll see I've got the board view, the BRD file, and I've got a schematic. And when I loaded this up, it automatically picked it up, and it loaded the schematic as well. It's a lifetime license, but it's just support for the current versions. So if you're running version 5.1, for example, he will support upgrade for anything until it gets to version 6, basically. So yeah, minor updates you get for free, but $147, honestly, you really can't complain. But it's a lifetime license, as far as I'm aware. I have just asked him if he can come into chat. I don't know if he's going to be online because he's in Australia, so I'm not sure. He generally tends to message me in the AM. Yeah, we need a 10 microfarad cap. I've got a Series S. If I search on the Series S schematic for 10 microfarad, so what's the rating here? 10 microfarad, 10 volt. So we've got a 6.3 volt here. That's no good. RIP. We don't have one on one of these boards. That sucks. Why is it rated for? What I don't understand is why it's rated for 10 volt when the voltage out is 3.42. A 6.3 volt cap's going to be fine. Why have they put a 10 volt cap there? That don't make much sense. I'm going to put a 6.3 volt there. The output is 3.42 volts. Really don't want to be hunting around for CPU recall caps though. Oh come on, don't make me. Oh, I'm not hunting through CPU recall caps. You know what? It'll work fine without one cap on there. I'm not bothered. Actually, no, I will go and look for a donor board. I keep changing my freaking mind. And by the way, I still haven't updated the software, Paul. No, I wanted overhead cam. I want to see if this has cleared my short and give me a fan spin. I will hunt for a donor board and put that cap back. I need to clean up a couple of other caps anyway, so probably best to get a donor board. Yeah, how you doing anyway, Paul? I hope you are well. So yeah, for anyone in chat that had some questions about Flex Board View, Paul Daniels is the creator. He is more than happy to answer your questions before you consider giving him your money. Or at least I think he is. I shouldn't really speak for Paul. He might be really pissed off that I've summoned him. Who knows? But Paul's a legend. We love him. Even though he's an upside down bastard, we still love him. He's actually sent me a couple of items which I'm going to be trialing. He sent me a USB-C ammeter which is developed, and a 24-volt ring light which is developed. So I'm going to be trying them soon. Right, let's plug the fan in because it's not a fix unless we get fan spin. Right, now let's test it. What's the dealio with my current? Do we get an orange light? We do not. But we are charging. We have got a fan spin. Where's my orange light? That's turning on. We get a chime. Do we get an Apple logo? No backlight. Wah, wah, wah. Where's my orange light as well? Why haven't I got an orange light on this? Right, we've got no backlight. No, I saw an Apple logo, mate. But just be no backlight. Shut that down. It's actually not charging the battery. That's because it's not plugged in. Huh. Might help if it was plugged in. But I've got no orange light on the charger either. 600 milliamps. Ah, there we go. Now it's working. Yeah, alright. Well, let's let that charge. Now we've got a backlight. Why haven't I got an orange light on the charger? Unless my charger's faulty. So it's charging with the customer. Well, I don't think it's actually charging. Because it's not drawing any current. It's not drawing enough current to be charging. It's drawing like 500 milliamps at 20 volts. It could be trickle charging, but we've still got some strange behaviour because it's got no. Actually, we are picking up a little bit more current now, but that could be because I've plugged the LCD in. But we've still got no light on the charger, so yeah, I'll give it 5 minutes. Yeah, see, it's power cycling as well. It looks like it's power cycling, so it's not recognising a battery, is it? Right. Haha. I have in my hand a MacBook Air with a smashed screen. Well, I believe that this MacBook probably works. The board probably works. It's probably fine. So let's just double check. We have one wire circuit for certain. Because we get a green and orange light on the charger. Alright, but it still doesn't turn on, but whatever. At least I know the one wire circuit of this board is working, right? That's the main thing. And it gives me a donor board I can use as well. Yeet! Thank you, come again. I really need to start stripping some of these boards down and selling the parts off them. Because I've got boxes full of these damn things. I really need to start listing the parts for sale on the store. So the question now, do we get an orange light on the charger with a replacement DC inboard? Yes. Yes, we do. Okay, so the DC inboard is faulty. I'm not going to fix that. Actually, is it the ribbon? Is it the flat flex, or is it the actual DC inboard? Because that's going to determine the price that the customer has to pay. Of course, they're worth fixing. What, the DC inboards? Are they really? Are they that expensive? Right, yeah, the DC inboard is what's failed. Quite expensive, really. Ooh, does that mean I'm going to get paid? I don't know, there's quite a bit of liquid damage on these test points. Like, quite a considerable amount of... Well, not liquid damage, but like on the... Like, the test points are a little bit effed up. Glad to see my bone senses weren't too far off. Yeah, you're not too old yet, mate. You still got some life left in you yet. Yeah, so there's quite a few test points which are pretty fucked up. Replace those two 5-pin chips you just went past. Those two there. The thing is, I haven't got parts for them though, mate. I haven't got any faulty DC inboards. It's not really worth breaking a working DC inboard to fix it. I'll probably put it to one side and try and fix it on another stream or something. The beauty is I've got a donor board which I can use. Well, a replacement which I can use. That is the good thing. Right. Show me a charging current. That's it. That's already more. 800 milliamps. Then there's a charging current. 1 amp. Apple logo. DC inboard needed changing. Right, looks like Paul Daniels saves the day again. 1% battery. And that is a win. Yep. That's a win. That's working. It's booting. We can get to the data. So now all I need to do is replace that cap. And so let's take the board out. I'm not going to do it inside the housing. I can take the cap off the other board inside the housing, because that's my housing. I mean, the aluminium is probably not going to hurt anything, but it's just bad practice. It's just bad practice to do it inside the housing. I do some stuff inside the housing, like I'll knock a cap off and crap like that, but it is bad practice to do it inside the housing. Just like it's bad practice to leave removable components like that on the board while you're working on it. Don't do that. Right, so spin the board around, make it easier for me, because I'm going to remove them other two caps and get you do it. Yeah. Right, there's nothing sensitive here. I'm going to increase to 440. I'm going to get rid of those two caps as well, because if I'm replacing one in that area, where's the harm in replacing another two? That can get a reflow at the same time. Cheers, Kyle. Paul fixed it, not me. If you want to take inspiration, don't take it from me, because in true coder fashion, I'm going to use an excessively sized soldering iron tip. So, probably not best to take inspiration from me, because I'll make your life more difficult. Like the coder recommends, using an excessively sized soldering iron tip and making your life incredibly difficult. If you can't get to the component, the pad which you're trying to get to, just desolder the one next to it so as you can get to it, because that makes your life easier. Ha! Just because I'm too lazy to change my tip. Have I just damaged it? Yeah. I really need to change this tip to one that's actually usable. I really need to change that tip. Don't slip. Meh. Mr. Pad, you might want to come back here. Thank you. If anyone wants to see someone who actually knows what they're doing repair a MacBook, be sure to check out Paul's channel, Mr. Paul Daniels on YouTube. He is the true magician. See, that's how you tin a pad look. Look at the precision look. We don't need micro pencil tips here. And yes, I do own a micro pencil. Am I going to use it? No. No, I'm not. Come on. There's no fun in that. There's no fun in using the right sized tip. That's boring. Why would I do something as silly as doing it right? To be fair, I was probably going to take that inductor off anyway, just to be able to get to the pad, so I could tin the pad properly. No, that wasn't popcorning. The board's just flexing on the table. It's fine. Dang it! Why you be so awkward, Mr. Pad? Should probably reduce my airflow. Need a bit more solder on that. Ignore that crap on it. That's just part of the overfill. It'll come back. It'll come off. Dang it. I bet using the right tool would help. No, no, no. I disagree. Wholeheartedly disagree. Who needs tools? I actually might have to stop being a stubborn little prick. Well, that would work, technically. I might need to stop being a little prick and actually do the job properly. That one don't actually matter about being bridged. Well, they actually both didn't matter about being bridged, but that pad's a little bit wamboozled. It's not really taking solder very well, so I'm just going to leave it. Those two caps are both on the same line anyway, so I am actually going to leave that as it is with a nice solder blob on it. It's not going to hurt it. The pad's not taking solder very well at all. Those caps I've just put on are not in the greatest condition. Let me change my iron tip. Let me stop being a knob. I'm putting that tip back in a minute once I finish on this job, alright? For the record. Alright, there you go. Now the end caps are looking a little bit better. Oh, you couldn't even see it. Oh well. I love that tip, mate. I've done Nintendo Switch charging ports with that chip. Like, genuinely, I did one literally last night. I'm genuinely not bothered about that little solder blob on there because it's connected to the inductor anyway and the pad wasn't in the greatest condition. So I'm really not bothered about that bit of a solder. Let's add a little bit of conformal coating to this just to protect that damage around the traces. It's not conformal coating, it's solder mask. No one cares, alright? No one cares. This actually has overfill on it anyway. So I'm going to basically re-protect the circuit from potential liquid. I put in a blob of conformal coating on it. talking to himself again. I'm always talking to myself. I'm telling you the truth though. Look, it's not called solder mask. I bought this from factory a few days ago. The video don't lie, people. The video don't lie, alright? Do you have to use conformal coating? Sorry, UV light. Yes. Yeah, it is UV curable. So it has to be used. Otherwise it will stay a liquid. Alright, let's expose everyone to UV rays. So you can speed up the curing process by using warm air with it. It'll cure faster and harder with warm air. So if I was to leave this to cure like this, it's probably going to take about 5 minutes to go all the way through. But after 60 to 90 seconds, I generally tend to put a bit of warm air with it just to speed it up. Because there's quite a bit of conformal coating there. I mean, it's already started to go hard on the surface, but I will use a little bit of warm air with it. There we go. I have actually done that, yes. I have actually, before I ever got a UV light, I had to do quite a bit of masking on a board that someone had just completely obliterated. Sorry, no, before I got a decent UV light. And I was just like, you know what, stuff it. It was the middle of summer, and I just threw it outside. And left it outside. The number of that's what she said. But yeah, that's hard now. And that's not what she said because he couldn't get it up. Ha! I'm here all night, folks. Well, it's hard everywhere except there. Right, that's good enough. It's not perfect. There's a little bit of a gap there, but you know what? It'll do. It's protecting it. That's the main thing. And we're done. Green light on the charger. We get fan spin. Come on, show me the dong. There we go. Apple logo. And this laptop is fixed. So I'm sure the customer is going to be happy. I need to give it a full test, obviously. Check stuff like the trackpad, that's working. We don't have a high fan spin, so I don't think there's going to be a sensor issue. Keyboard appears to work, but I'll need to log in and whatnot to be able to test it fully. But yeah, there you go. There's one working laptop, and I'm sure that the customer will be happy. So if you're watching this back at the video, I did live stream it, and it's going to be turned into a video by request of the customer. But this laptop's fixed. Turned out to be one shorty cap on the PP3V42 rail and a bad DC inboard. But the DC inboard I don't have any spare components for, and I don't know if I can warranty it by repairing it anyway, because there's quite a bit of liquid damage to the test points on it. So I don't know. I'll have to see when I get some spare parts for it. But yeah, replacement DC inboard. Technically just one cap, but I decided to replace, you know, the entire area. But other than that, this is working, and yeah, happy freaking days. If you need a repair, consolefix.shop. Click on the repair section, read the terms and conditions first, and then you can book it in. Or if you want to get in touch and get a quote, you can do that as well. For now, that's it from me. See ya.